is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as eternity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics. I am your host, The Church of Failure, and with me, as always, is my trusty co-host, Ayrton McCartney. And today, we're actually joined by a special guest in the virtual studio here, Mr. CrippleJesus.
It's an honor to be here, fellas. I just ran a 4K marathon. I got a silver medal.
Nice.
Now I'm here to relax and podcast with you boys.
You beat those Kenyans?
I did. Some say that even though I have white legs, the chair is in fact black, so it can run fast.
Nice.
You got a V12 in that thing or something?
I got a D12. I got the pine tree freshener, and I got the gold spinners.
I'm gonna get you a hula girl for Christmas.
And some fuzzy dice.
Right. Big black fuzzy 8 balls.
I would have been in here earlier, but I actually got doxxed. I don't know if that's interesting to anyone at all. But...
Oh well, it's a great prelude into to another segment that we're going to go into after you tell your story, if you do. So.
Oh yeah, well, I don't really know. It's not really on purpose, dox. Well, as everybody knows, Cameron Clark really doesn't like Dick Masterson. I think. I don't know how intertwined your fan base is with the Dick Show.
Well, everyone I think here knows that I'm a pretty big fan of the Dick Show. I definitely they all know that I watch the Kill Stream and that I enjoy the Dick Show and things like that.
Yeah. I also want to say too that I'm not against Cameron Clark. I think the guy can be pretty funny at times. I don't hate him.
So for people in the audience who might not be familiar, who is Cameron Clark?
Cameron Clark was, he used to do music for the Dick Show, and he turned into a troll, basically. He's a pretty good one, I'm not going to lie. He trolled Dick 2 weeks in a row. He first convinced Dick that he was a Stereos, and then the next week he convinced Dick that he was Mumkey.
Fantastic.
Now, I thought both of those were funny at the time. I know it split the fan base in half, and there's a ton of people that hate him. But anyway, he hates Riley from ASE Entertainment, which we're gonna start a podcast. We were actually supposed to record it today, but there was audio issues. And we
know about audio issues.
We don't know anything about audio issues here. We only use professional audio engineers. We actually have Sean chained in the basement.
Yeah, we have like a B-rate Sean. He still smokes weed with the seeds in it. He's not like but yeah, so we were in there working out the sound, and somebody in my dorm room asked me for the address because we were ordering pizza at the time because I was pretty hungry. And I gave her the address and I said it out loud. And then Cameron Clark, unbeknownst to all of us, recorded that conversation and then made a SoundCloud account as us. Holy Rollers, that's the name of the show that me and Riley are doing. He made a Holy Rollers account, and then he uploaded it to SoundCloud and said it was the first episode of the podcast.
I'm sorry, that's shitty, but...
No, yeah, it is funny. It's shitty what he did. I had to spend, the reason I didn't come in here earlier was because I had to spend maybe about 20 minutes talking down my co-host because he was actually mad about it.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of guy, I don't really care if you know who I live. If you want to fight me, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, CrippleJesus will kick your ass though. He knows like 15 different kinds of martial arts. I saw him once.
That's true.
I saw him once break a brick with his foot.
You know, they optimized the crane fighting style for cripples. They have the wheelchair version.
Well, see, I just assume your wheelchair is equipped with like weapons, kind of like those fighting robots. You have like an electronic axe to come down on somebody.
I have a Bruce Lee button, and when I hit that, my chair immediately slips into a tight yellow jumpsuit and starts making all kinds of karate noises. It's pretty badass.
All right, I can dig it.
But yeah, that is the story of how I was doxxed. My address is out there, so if you want to send me some gifts or maybe some bomb threats, you're more than welcome to.
Nice. Well, that's fantastic. I'm sorry that happened, but I'm glad you at least got it under control and nobody's going to fisticuffs over it.
I know it's dangerous, doxing and dangerous in general, but I kind of took it lighthearted because I don't care, but I know there's a lot of people that can't protect themselves, so.
No, I understand.
I think I'll be fine. I don't think anybody's going to come after me, but.
So, I think I told you about this earlier in DMs, and Ayrton just learned about it off air, but I actually had an interaction with another somewhat famous disabled person last night.
Yeah, a guy by the name of Hot Wheels. Is that right?
That's correct. I'm gonna drop a link here in the Discord in the live show chat to the clip if you want to pull it up. I'm gonna get it set up for the audience here.
Oh, for sure, I'll pull it up.
We do things badly here because we're not technologically savvy.
Oh, I pulled it up. It's a 3-hour video.
Oh, I've got a timestamp.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. The timestamp is at 2 hours and 30 minutes even.
All right, let me get it.
If anybody recognizes that music, they'll know.
Oh, fucking YouTube! Come on, stop being a pain in my dick.
All right, I got it up here.
All right. And let me get it pulled up on screen. Hopefully everyone's ready for this because it doesn't take very long. It's a short little clip. But we're going to go ahead and pull that up. I'm going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, now.
You're about to say that. All right, let me take another caller. We're gonna really roll through now. I know I said that before, but we're over budget a little bit here. Go ahead, Church of Failure, lightning round, go.
Oh, Ralph Gator.
Hello, sir.
Flamenco.
Merry Christmas.
How's it going, guys?
Very good.
Merry Christmas. That's pretty much what I called in to say, but I did want to ask a legitimate question.
Sure, go ahead.
Hello, Church of Failure.
Go ahead.
Hot Wheels.
Yes.
Why are you projecting your own guilt for creating 8chan, which you now are remorseful for, onto...
Yeah, let me pause it real quick. It's paused at 2:30:35. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I don't have exactly a normal person's voice myself. You can probably tell that I'm crippled when I'm talking on this podcast. But this guy has the most crippled voice, I think. I think I could have I think if I had a conversation with Stephen Hawking, it would probably sound more normal.
Can I do my impersonation of Helen Keller now then?
After
where the show is going.
After the segment, let me finish this up real quick.
Sure.
All right, starting now at 2:30, 35, 3, 2, 1, now.
Black Pigeon Speaks, who really is at the lowest spot of what your radar could have been. Thank you, Sunset.
Well, a great question. I never expected to be on the kill stream talking about this when I wrote Black Pigeon Speaks into my article. Like we discussed earlier, it was just a totally kind of simple move. I originally had Sticks X and Hammer. I don't remember his real name on there. I did have his real name.
Yeah, real name.
He puts his real name out there.
Professor, right?
Yeah, it's Tarl.
That's what you like doxing people, right?
The style guide from most organizations like the Daily
Oh,
Dot.
fuck your style guide.
Fuck
your style guide. This is the internet. This is
style guide.
No,
if
no.
You want to write for them, you got to follow the style.
If you want to be in this community, you have to follow the rules of fucking discourse. The community you're in. You said you love being on the kill stream. You wanted to debate Sticks, X, and Hammer.
So wait a minute.
You're in the commentary community. You're trying to dox people who aren't putting their information. Frederick Brennan.
Are you saying that you are
put your
banning
name
me
out
from
there.
the kill stream right now? Is that what you're saying? Do you have the authority?
Fuck no, I have no authority over the kill stream. What are you even trying to project on me, you fuck?
Right. So what are we even talking about then? If you have no authority to ban me.
I'm not trying to ban you. I'm asking you why you think it's okay to dox people and why you're projecting your guilt on others and you're trying to fucking just project everything else and avoid the actual question. Thank you. Go ahead and sunset me, Ralph, and let's see how he dances around this.
All right, thank you, man.
I did not get...
Go ahead.
I did not do too much legwork to get the docs. It was already very public. So.
I didn't do too much legwork. But yeah, that was my interaction. We could watch a little longer, but he never actually answers my question. So
yeah, and I noticed when he was trying to justify. I don't know who this Black Pigeon guy is. I'll be honest with you, but he was trying to justify doxing the guy by saying the public needs to know who he is. I think that's the weirdest way of saying I dox someone that I ever heard.
Well, the thing is, like, you've got so many. Here's the thing: he's going out and he's trying to express his remorse for his, I don't know, stake in 8chan and creating it and all of that shit, and trying to keep it pulled off the air and writing all these hit pieces. He's gone full leftist SJW when he literally used to run a child pornography and manifesto website, basically, right? Let's just face it. That's what 8chan is.
Well, yeah. I'll tell you guys what I told my mom after my cripple AA meeting that she forced me to go to.
Cripple Anonymous.
So yeah, some people deserve to be crippled, and I think this guy is definitely one. You mostly feel bad with most of the time. I would say like 80% of the time, you feel bad with people that can't move their legs or eat through a tube. But I can just hear this guy talk with that shrill voice, and I think, you know what? I get why God did it.
I'd just like to take this time to say that any guest opinion do not reflect those of the Gospel of Comics. Go ahead, continue.
I was gonna say it's so weird too, because like you don't know this CrippleJesus, but my brother has Down syndrome, so I've grown up around all of this stuff, and most disabled people are like some of the happiest, like chillest, funniest people on the planet, and this guy's such a twat.
It's holy all shit. The disabled people I've ran into, that's both literally and figuratively. I don't think I've ever ran into a pedophile one before.
Oh. Oh. But no.
I realized that being crippled, to me at least, you could probably back me up on this, but being crippled is it's only bad if you think it's bad. If you have a negative mindset about it, you're not gonna have a good life. But if you realize all the advantages and the privileges you get,
right?
I've heard the parking spots were great.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, I never in my life ever have to wait in a line. Lines are optional for me.
That's fantastic.
I go to Chick-fil-A. I go to Chick-fil-A about 3 times a week because the university I'm at, the only good restaurant they have is Chick-fil-A, and I cut the line every single time. And the one time I got a look from this lady, I just started shaking my hand, and she stopped.
For those in the audience that don't know, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I appeared on the CrippleCast with CrippleJesus. The link for which is down below in the description. If you're not already subscribed to listen to the CrippleCast, you should definitely do that right now.
Actually, I don't know if you know, but the CrippleCast has ended.
The CrippleCast has ended?
Yes,
did you answer all the questions?
We ended on John McAfee. That was our last guest.
Man. You just have to go out on a high note then.
Yeah. I basically figured, because I got offered to do a show with Riley, and I figured, you know what, that sounds like a great idea. And I think the best way to end the CrippleCast was to have a huge guest like McAfee on the last episode.
I'll turn you up in the Discord. Danielle saying she's having a hard time hearing you a little bit, so I'll turn you up in the Discord.
Oh, all right.
You were really loud earlier.
I have my iPhone, so that might make a difference.
You were really loud earlier, so I turned you down a little bit, but there we go.
But yeah, we ended on McAfee. You can actually still listen to our episodes at ASEpresents.com. We have a whole archive of all the CrippleCast episodes.
All right, I'll get that link from you, and I'll put it in the new description. But when we were on there, you actually asked me a question about were there any disabled superheroes, and I normally didn't think about it too much, but while I was kind of naming the ones I knew, I realized that most of them gained their disabilities like post birth. There's really not a whole lot of people who are born with disabilities that become superheroes. I did, however, find one in my research.
The one I can think off the top of my head is Captain Marvel.
As
we all know, being a woman is a disability, and if you look at Brie Larson's feet, you'll clearly see that.
Oh, let's not put that image in anybody's head. Those feet hurt Bibble from the kill stream.
Everybody, all the listeners, I want you to pause your media player, and I want you to Google Brie Larson's feet, and it'll just be a wonderful experience. You'll never have the same feeling of confusion and disgust ever again. I promise
you. So whoever gets Rob Liefeld to draw church feet, you should have him draw Brie Larson's feet.
Ghoul in the YouTube chat says Moira McTaggart, as not a superhero herself, she's played a big role in X-Men. I don't know if you've read the Dawn of X line, Ghoul, but
no, I actually do not read comics. This is probably a first time to have a guy that doesn't read comics.
Oh, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. No, there have been a couple of people on here. A lot of people in the audience actually don't read comic books. They just like me bitching about things, apparently, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard about you through Twitter, and I've been following your account for a while, and we had a guest that bailed on us for the Cripplecast once, and I thought, you know what? You're a funny guy. Let me hit you up in the DMs, and we'll do a show. But yeah, I'm not really, in fact, I vowed to never see a superhero movie after the first Avengers.
That's probably
got tired.
Yeah, that's
probably smart.
Yeah, you got out while you were ahead. The ones of us that stayed invested were just disappointed in the end. But I do have a list of heroes that we can talk about. And like I said, in my quest, I did eventually find one that was born with cerebral palsy.
What? Oh yeah. Actually, you guys, could I squeeze in a bathroom break?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think we can handle it.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll mute myself so you don't hear any background noise.
All right.
And I will be back in a second.
All right, no problem. While we wait, Centurion, the newest X-Men storyline that was headed off by Jonathan Hickman, they wrote Moira in to be a reincarnation mutant. Every time she dies, she like basically spawns a parallel universe. It's very strange.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out, or at least check out House and Powers of X. The continuation stuff isn't as good.
X-Force is pretty good, but other than that, no, I have to agree with that statement. We have a lineup of guests coming through in the next couple of episodes. Tomorrow, I believe, we'll be joined by Sean Crummell. Monday, if I'm not mistaken, we will be joined by... Why am I echoing?
Uh-oh.
You got a headset in?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just roll with it.
Should I? Should I just roll with it? Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, just roll with it.
Okay. But we've got, I believe, I have to check the schedule here, but I believe we have, shit. I'm blanking on it. I know his last name, but I don't want to just say...
Gilbert?
Yes, Gilbert Deltrez coming on Monday, and I'm trying tentatively to schedule Don Chen for a repeat appearance.
Oh, awesome!
So we got that to look forward to.
I'll have to. I just want to say that guy cracks me up. It's like every 3 or 4 weeks we just get tagged in the most random tweet, and it's always great.
It is. We also have a large lineup of Christmas comics to look at. So
yes, there's a lot in there.
Yeah, we'll pick some of those out and wait, Professor X. Yeah, nobody. There's only one that starts out as disabled, and I don't think anybody's gonna get it. But no. So we do have some interesting shows coming up. Also tonight after the show, patrons and people in the Discord are invited to a drunk stream. And we all know how that last one turned out. So
I have beer this time instead of scotch, so I won't put myself to bed drunkenly at 2:30.
I have scotch because I'm a real man.
Hey, I'm back from
I like my Guinness.
I'm back from the bathroom break, but I actually have to put myself into... I don't know how to mute myself, but I got to put myself into bed for the night because I have my nurses are leaving.
Word. Do you want me you want me to just mute you for a second?
Yeah, just mute me for a minute, and then I forgot we had a scheduling conflict. That's my bad.
No
you're
problem,
good, man.
Buddy.
You're good. Right. Just shoot us a message in the live show chat when you're ready, and I'll unmute you.
All right. For
All right,
sure,
buddy.
man.
All right. So let's see. Check the chat real quick. We got a discussion about certain characters. A lot of these are on the list. Now, there's an astonishing amount of blind superheroes.
Yeah, I noticed that looking at when I was doing some cursory looking.
What did you see anybody that stuck out to you? I wonder if I pulled them for the list. I've got like 12 examples to talk about.
One interesting one that I didn't really think of is somebody mentioned Thor. I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, he got his arm cut off at one point.
No.
That wasn't his arm.
It wasn't his arm. Thor was disabled because when Odin sent him to Earth to learn humility, he came as Donald Blake.
Didn't he lose his arm at one point though?
Maybe, but
I swear he lost, like in the unworthy Thor or whatever, or not unworthy Thor.
I don't have silhouette Ghoul. I didn't pull that one. Let's see.
But
go ahead.
I'd say probably my favorite, I guess, for lack of a better word at the moment, would be Hawkeye, just because when they had him go deaf, being someone who I did sign language as my second language in school because I'm terrible with languages. But that one I was able to pick up pretty easily, and the way they actually drew in and him signing was actually really cool. And that's actually, like, if you're looking at a sign language textbook, that's basically how they notate like how you're supposed to do a sign and stuff. So it was kind of fun reading that because I could actually read what he was saying or signing, I guess. So it was kind of fun to like read through that dialogue stuff for me.
Who was that again?
Hawkeye.
Oh, Hawkeye and him being deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way they actually drew him. Yeah, the way they drew him signing is the same way they draw it in sign language, like text.
Yeah, I believe that was Matt Fraction who went on that line of thinking, and actually the immersive experience in being deaf, because a lot of the speech bubbles in his books were empty, and like they tried to depict it like how you would have to like piece together things from reading lips.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I know Hawkeye gets made fun of, but you know, I like him as a character, but that's just because I like bow and arrows.
I didn't consider MODOK disabled. I just figured MODOK was an alien.
Yeah.
But no, I did have Thor. That was one of the first ones you mentioned. So let's talk about him for a second. Thor was sent to Earth to learn humility and trapped in the form of Donald Blake. And Donald Blake walked with a limp. There's no explanation about how Donald Blake got the limp. He just had it. Now, I believe back then Donald Blake was an actual doctor with a limp who discovered this mystical staff, and then it was retconned later that Thor was sent to Earth by Odin to learn humility, and that's how they worked in Asgard and Odin and the rest of the Norse gods.
Yeah.
I have Captain Marvel Jr., Centurion. You know, I don't know that you're going to get me on that one. Freddie Freeman, I've got him in the list. But, no, I didn't, like, Thor was like the least on my radar. Him and Doctor Strange were down at the bottom because Doctor Strange lost the ability to use his hands after they were crushed in a car accident, and they called that disabled. And I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, it was really difficult to find somebody who actually, by most people's standards, would be considered disabled.
Right.
You've got,
but
Go ahead.
The driving scene in the movie where they played Pink Floyd's Interstellar Overdrive is fantastic.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange is one of the better Marvel movies for sure. I really hope they don't ruin it with Doctor Strange too.
I don't even know if I want to see it.
So, let's see. Who's next on the list? I don't want to get through too many of these before the guest comes back. But since we already brought up his name, here's Doctor Strange.
The good doctor himself.
Get him centered on the screen here. Oh no! Don't stretch it! Don't do that! No. Center the screen. Reset. God damn it! We're just fucking this all up. There we go.
Well, apparently Google is cheating and using Google, but that's okay.
Okay.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah, there is one with a disability from birth. He has cerebral palsy. I'll even give you that hint. But it is not. Go ahead.
Did you actually tell me off air who that was? Because I don't remember.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't want you to be able to cheat either. It took a lot. Okay. It took a lot of digging to figure that one out. Bane can't breathe. But I have Doctor Strange up here. Like we said, he was in Google Images. One of the suggestions is Greta Thunberg. Look, that is
not covering mentally disabled at this point.
No, I resisted that as well, or else we would probably spend the entire show trying to just explain who Legion is for anybody who hasn't seen the Legion television show.
Well, I mean, you could argue that most superheroes probably have some sort of mental issues at some point or another.
Right.
So that would just be obnoxious.
But I do have Doctor Strange up on the screen. And they're saying, that's a disability because his hands were crushed. But I mean, he pretty much, in his origin story, he immediately resolves the issue by learning magic. I mean...
Right.
So they don't ever really showcase the fact that he can't use his hands very often. It occasionally comes up, but it's not very often.
Yeah, I mean, he can manifest like that mystic axe that he uses to fuck up people. So, I mean, his hands still can at least magically still work to some extent.
But like I say, there's a long list that I found with blind, and there's also a very big commonality that characters will be shot in the back and then partially paralyzed or paralyzed.
Yeah.
So that's another like disabled trope, I guess. Komodo. I saw Komodo, but I didn't know enough about Komodo to bring them up.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
It's not Farida Bedway. I don't even know who that is. So now I'll have to do that research. Thanks, Centurion. Samuel L. Glass, anyone? Not a comic book character.
Oh, he's got you there. Sorry, Novel Bro.
But now, since we talked about blindness, and we'll bring these back up when the guest gets back and get his thoughts on them as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But speaking of blindness, probably the most popular blind superhero, Matt Murdock, the Daredevil. Alright, here we go. And you're back, CrippleJesus.
Hey, hello guys. It took longer than expected. One of the problems with my nurse, I love her, but she's chatty.
Yeah. Yeah, they just don't know.
I got two guys on the line here. They're waiting to hear my wheelchair puns for the next 2 hours.
I gotta go. I got jokes to make, woman.
Yeah. But yeah, I am back, and we're talking about. I don't read a lot of comics, but I do have a disabled superhero for you, though.
Who's that?
Go for it.
I think Beetlejuice is a disabled superhero.
Oh, why's that?
You know Beetlejuice. Does everybody know who Beetlejuice is?
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar.
From the Howard Stern show.
Oh no, I remember the movie and the cartoon.
No, the Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show. Does anybody know who this guy is?
No.
No,
so
go ahead.
He's got like elephantitis, I think the disease is. Which, like, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like your features are fucked. Like, one hand might be grossly bigger than the other hand, and then you have like, it's almost like being a midget, but it's not equally sized, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but he's on the Howard Stern show, and he was part of the Goof Troop with the Klansmen and
the Centurion is saying the black midget dude, and that actually makes me know exactly who he was.
The bit was that he was an idiot and he couldn't read, like he was illiterate. That was the bit.
Okay.
But I would like to argue that he is a crippled superhero because his crippledness paves the way for crippled radio personalities such as myself.
That's correct. Yes, he was the what can you say? A pioneer, if you would.
I remember one of the funny bits that they would do is they would say, "Oh, here's your paycheck, Beetlejuice. Here's $500," and they would give him 5 $1 bills, and he would walk away happy.
He apparently has a boxing fight on YouTube, so that might be something to watch.
Yeah, he actually challenged that Bagel Boss guy to a fight.
Oh, fantastic! You know, he can't use the Bagel Boss name anymore.
Wait, why?
They bought it from him. You didn't catch Dick talking about that?
No.
Yeah, he changed his Twitter.
He
changed his Twitter handle and everything because they bought out the name, the Angry Bagel, and they actually made like a little cartoon of an angry food item, and just completely replaced him. He has nothing to do with the Angry Bagel guy anymore.
Oh wow!
That's
fantastic.
I
heard from a source that he's addicted to speed.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't even imagine. Don't besmirch the Angry Bagel guy.
If I'm wrong, Angry Bagel guy, I sincerely apologize. But
he'll fight you, Angry Bagel guy, or Novel Bro will. One.
I enjoyed his appearances on the Dick Show podcast, by the way. I think he was one of the better guests.
Yeah, he's funny as hell.
Yeah. Beetlejuice is a disabled superhero. Now, are you going to talk about disabled villains at all?
Well, if I knew any, then I should have brought them up.
I have a great one for you. Are you guys ready for this?
Oh yeah.
Shoot.
Are you guys familiar of a child by the name of Greta Thunberg?
Oh, no, that was brought up in the chat while you were gone. Yes.
Oh, yes. I would consider her. She's not really a superhero because she does nothing but skip school.
Have you got it queued up, Ayrton?
I would consider her a villain, for sure.
The fight?
No, have you got it queued up? You know what you need to have queued up.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I think I know what I need to have queued up.
Okay.
And I can't be mad at her, really, because I remember when I was a kid, I pretended to be against AR-15s so I could take the day off from class.
Yeah, if you could have stretched that shit out into 67 weeks, I mean, wouldn't we all have?
I mean, yeah, it was around the time when the Emma Gonzalez kid was popular, and we basically just watched a speech from her, and we were like, end all gun violence, stop gun production, all that stuff. And I don't believe in any of it, full disclosure. But I did get out of an AP history exam.
Nice.
So, that's the point of activism now, because unless you're rich, you really can't do anything. So I would encourage everybody to pick up a phony cause to get out of as much work as possible.
Oh yeah, isn't that basically what we do?
Yeah, I'm considering converting to Judaism, because I don't know if you know, but they have 25% of the calendar year they have off because of Jewish holidays.
What about Holocaust Remembrance Days? Isn't there like 362 of those?
Yeah, what they do for those is they just bake cookies. That's what they do for Holocaust Remembrance Day.
I figured they go to an amusement park and ride a bunch of roller coasters.
No, you don't get the bit, Ayrton. That's
no, I get it.
Okay,
I get it.
Okay.
You sit down with Glam and Pap, and she makes you 6 million cookies
in 5 years.
In 5 years.
But
I think it's awesome that they use religion to get out of work.
Oh yeah. So I've got some crippled comic book characters that I have, and I don't know if you could see the stream or not. I can put these in the Discord as well. But I figure what we'll do is I'll show you these characters and give you a brief description, and then get your thoughts on them.
Sure. Which channel should I be looking in?
I'll put it in the live show chats, the one we've been using mainly.
All right, cool.
So let's see here. And so here we have Professor Xavier. Professor Xavier is the leader of the X-Men. He was shot in the back, in the spine, and lost the ability to walk. So, like most of the characters on this list, he was not born with a disability. However, he is also the most powerful psychic on the face of the planet. And, can basically control anyone's mind. So he could literally...
Yeah, his power is it telekinesis too?
No,
or is that some other guy?
He can... I think he has, slight telekinesis, but the most powerful telekinetic is Jean Grey. So...
Oh, okay.
He's mainly known for being able to, literally reach into everyone on the planet's mind simultaneously.
Fun fact, I'm the world's worst psychic, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I have a psychic prediction for the listeners.
What's
listeners, that? I know you want to jack off to Brie Larson's feet right now. But do not do it. Do not do
it. That's sound advice here from our guest CrippleJesus. Do not attempt to masturbate to Brie Larson's feet.
The curiosity, though, is getting to me. I'm gonna have to Google her feet, and I feel like I'm gonna hate you for this.
You're welcome.
I love torturing my co-host. I really appreciate you helping me out with
that. Oh, no problem.
Really does.
That's what I do.
But yeah, Charles Xavier, any thoughts?
What the fuck is that? Her big toe. What the hell?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. It looks like she got it transplanted off of a gorilla.
I'll never forget the time. I showed it to my best friend, my buddy Had, who I originally started the CrippleCast with.
You mean your ex-best friend?
Yeah, my ex-best friend.
After showing him the feet, it's just over.
I showed him a picture of Brie Larson's foot, but I didn't show the face.
Right.
Like, I cropped it to where it was only her foot.
Right.
And he said to me back, he said, "Why are you sending me a guy's foot?" I said, "That's Brie Larson."
Dude, her toes are so long, she could give you a hand job with her feet.
Oh, no, she couldn't. Not me.
No.
And if you notice
she
too,
bananas with those fucking things. Jesus.
If you did watch the movie, the reason that she runs so weird is because of her feet.
Oh, I've never seen the movie. I refuse to watch it.
I actually, you can gather parts of it from the trailer. I don't know if you saw the trailer, because I did not go to the movie, because like I said, I boycotted superhero movies for a long time, but I did watch a YouTube review of it, and there's one where the guy showed the compilation of her running, and the reason she runs on her tiptoes like that's so fucking weird is because her feet are such abominations.
Abominations.
She can't even walk on them.
You know how they say that AIDS came around from somebody having sex with like a monkey, and then that's how it spread? I'm pretty sure her dad is the one who had sex with that monkey, and that's where she came from. That's the only way to explain these feet.
Oh, Ayrton. Ayrton.
Well, you know what Roseanne should have did? She should have just called Brie Larson the monkey and call it a day.
Oh yeah. I thought the bitch was white.
And I totally believe Roseanne that she believed that she was white.
I do too.
I mean, she does. She does look Jewish. I'll say that.
Oh man! Then they killed her off of the Connors. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, you want to watch the Roseanne show without Roseanne? No thanks.
I think they should have brought in Dan Aykroyd and basically just made it the Blues Brothers show.
There we go.
Or the ghost of John Belushi. That would have been funny.
Just use a Slimer.
I'm trying to think of any other disabled superheroes.
Well, I've got some more to.
We got a list.
Yeah, I got some more to throw at you here. So
cool.
That's Professor Xavier. Do you have any final thoughts on him?
He's obviously the most well-known one. I knew him from the start when you said his name.
Okay. Well, in the spirit of Beetlejuice, this is Puck. We'll get him pulled up on the screen for everyone at home. But Puck is a dwarf from the Canadian superhero team Alpha Flight. And
yes, the Gimp dwarf. I like this guy already.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought his disability was being Canadian.
Everything smells like maple syrup.
Yeah.
But he flips around like an acrobat and turns himself into a human projectile. But yeah, he's also.
When you say Canada, I didn't realize how old their prime minister was. I was watching that because I have a film class. I don't know if you know, and we had to watch the movie The Jazz Singer with Al Jolson. Are you familiar with that movie?
I know of it.
I am not.
It is a movie. Basically, it's a blackface movie, an old-timey blackface movie. And I did not know that Justin Trudeau is actually Al Jolson.
You're not wrong. He's also Castro's son, or he's also Fidel Castro's son, I think. But Ayrton, before we get into to the next one, you've been fired for your last comment and for posting Brie Larson's feed in the Discord.
Hey, I mean, other people have to suffer.
I mean, you cannot collect your things, and security will be here any moment. So,
do I have to turn in my gun and my badge too?
I mean, I didn't give you a gun and a badge, so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where you got those.
I just like to wear them when we're doing the show. Makes me feel important.
It's good you get into the role. So,
yeah.
Any thoughts on the dwarf puck?
I thought he was a gimp. Yeah, it kind of looks like a BDSM mother type getup that you would see at a pride parade.
Oh no, this is just peak 80s superhero costumes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, nobody had any sense of what they were doing.
My pajamas.
If his tagline is not "Go puck yourself," there's an opportunity there.
Marvel Comics. If you're not watching this show, you're missing out on $1 million ideas every night. Just saying.
Yeah. Come on, Marvel. Hire us already, goddammit.
Just start sending us money and don't expect us to
I have
Jewish.
a superhero. I have a superhero. He's not disabled, but I do have a superhero that I would like to pitch to Marvel Comics.
All right, go ahead.
All right, go for it.
His name is Chinaman. That's his name. And his superpower is he's really good at math.
This isn't 1946.
He can drive any car into a building.
I think DC beat you to that one when they made Chinese Superman.
I know Marvel is big on pushing diversity, right? So,
right.
If you want to reach out to me, any Marvel executives, you can DM me on Twitter at CrippleJesus.
You
we'll
heard
get this movie going.
Right. Yeah, and I think we can go a step further and say that we will be on board to executively produce the movie with our superhero expertise. Make sure you have the right costume, blindfold over the eyes.
Right. When you and for the listeners that don't realize the Asian American experience, we're gonna make sure that we curate it to you in a way where you'll be able to see life through slanted eyes.
We actually do have Ayrton, you know that reporter we have off-site that occasionally calls in from China? You want to see if you can get him on the line?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get our man on the street. Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah. We actually have a guy over in China who likes to call in and give us his hot takes.
All right, yes, we have Wang Chung here with a special message.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
Oh, well, thank you.
That is I did not know what he said. I'll have to have my girlfriend listen to the
podcast. So you're outsourcing your girlfriend. You're going the old Ralpha male tactics there.
Oh yeah! As soon as she's done making my shipment of Air Force Ones, I'll talk to her about it.
Okay. All right. Good.
She's in the closet right now. She's got a sewing machine. I gave her some cashews because I'm not a slave owner.
Right. You're not a monster.
Protein.
She's got cucumber water. She's doing great in there. I'm gonna have a whole lineup to put on StockX. I'll be loaded for the next 2 months.
There you go. Now I've dropped old Matt Murdock Daredevil into the Discord. Are you familiar with him?
I do know him. Yes, he had a
Netflix show.
He had a bad movie in the 2000s.
Yes, yeah,
and
Ben
then
Affleck.
Putting it mildly.
He got picked up for a Netflix series, which I watched half of the first season, which is a lot for me because I'm not really that into superhero stuff. And I have to say, it was not as generic as I was expecting it
to be. Well, Matt Murdock is actually tied in. A little known fact for the people listening and for you. Are you familiar with the Ninja Turtles?
I am.
Okay, so here's where they tie together. Okay, Matt Murdock's origin is when he was a kid. He saved an old man from getting hit by a truck carrying chemicals, right? Well, that truck carrying chemicals blinded him, and then those chemicals dripped down into the sewers, and that's what the origin of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles supposedly was.
Oh, all right.
So,
you see, I thought they existed to uncover Pizzagate.
No, that was just a bonus. You know, they love pizza so much. They heard Pizzagate and they had to get involved.
Right. I mean, how could you destroy the sanctity of pizza, Hillary Clinton? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you bitch.
I'm really gonna miss you when you commit suicide via 2 gunshot through the back of the head.
Oh man! I just want everybody to know, I did not commit suicide. I want everybody to know that.
Yeah, you hung yourself. You somehow kicked the stool out from
underneath you. Look, Ayrton. I've been telling people this for months now. Hanged. He's not a painting.
Hanged.
You know, I would like to think that Jeffrey Epstein was actually he was practicing his jail gymnastics routine, and he just botched the landing.
Right, and on a rope made of toilet paper.
And they had to get rid of the cameras, you know, because he's a very camera-shy guy. He can't perform with all that pressure on him.
Well, and the camera adds like 10 pounds.
Yeah,
right.
Who could?
He needs to say trim for those 13-year-old girls.
Now,
yeah, totally.
Now you watched the first Avengers movie, so you'll know this next one. I've already brought it up for the audience, but I'll put it back on screen for them. This is Thor. Now he's disabled supposedly because in his iteration he was turned into Thor from a human named Donald Blake who walked with a limp. But at any point in time, he could like magically transform into a fucking god. So I'm not sure if that counts as a full-on disability.
Well, you know, I always thought Thor was mentally disabled because he was kind of dumb in the movies.
That's just Chris Hemsworth. That's not actually the character.
Right. Well, he's also dumb in that Ghostbusters reboot. I don't know if you've seen that. I watched it to hate watch it, and I kind of regret it because it's not even entertaining enough to hate watch, really.
No, it's not. I watched it once with my wife because she's a big Ghostbusters fan. I am too when it comes to the original stuff, but.
Oh yeah, the original.
I'd rather have an itch right in that center of your back where you can't reach for like 6 months straight than watch the Ghostbusters reboot.
You know, I think if I learned anything about this episode, it's that we need more crippled superheroes, and if we don't get crippled superheroes, I'm calling upon my crippled brothers to ruin franchises just like we ruined Game of Thrones.
I really think that we really should get after Marvel for not casting Ricky Berwick as Thanos.
We really should.
If you saw his Twitter videos with the Infinity Gauntlet, you know that he portrayed the role perfectly. I mean, maybe even better than the guy that got to do it.
Have you ever seen that disabled Flash meme?
Yes.
Are you familiar with that meme? I think that gentleman there should get a movie.
I think absolutely, or at least replace Grant Gustin on the Flash TV show.
Yeah.
Because it's a double whammy. He's black and disabled.
Just needs to be a midget tranny, and then covers all the bases.
One to be the only actor on the show.
Now that's for the James Bond movie. Don't give any spoilers.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to. Please forgive me, chat.
They've already cast you aside. I actually muted you on the Discord. So.
The reason they went with women James Bond and not crippled James Bond first is because as soon as the villain runs up the stairs, the movie's over. Like that's his way. It's not a Shark Tank or like an electrifying thing or like like a log chopper machine.
That's
it's
just
a staircase, a giant staircase.
You don't understand though. You have to keep in mind that that's just the end of the first movie. The second movie is about the lawsuit that James Bond disabled takes after the villain with the with the SPLC for not being a handy-capable building.
No, see, you guys are totally missing it though. You're forgetting about Q. You saw the Star Wars prequels, the way R2-D2 has to go upstairs where he has his front leg extend and pull himself out. Q would just make crippled Bond a wheelchair that would do that, and it would just take him 37 minutes to get up.
Oh, that would be the padding in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we'd see what was going on back at MI6. The villain would be going through his monologue, and then by the end of the movie, he'd get up there and then have a seizure and die.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
No,
Oscar
worthy. At the end of the movie, he gets up to the top of the stairs, but he has to stop. He can't fight the villain because he has to empty out his colonoscopy bag.
Oh, onto the villain. That's how he beats the villain.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But it would have to be an R-rated movie because technically as soon as Scat becomes involved, it becomes porno.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Come on, Paramount.
Look for 007, Burning Rubber. Coming to you.
Oh. Well, back to the heroes here. I do have another exact duplicate of an origin of a disability. Not a superhero or not a superpower because strangely maybe a superpower. Let's see here. Fit to string. There we go. I'll throw it in the Discord here. I'm sure you're familiar with Batman, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, do you know that there was a Batgirl who was shot by the Joker? Our audience will remember from our episode on the Killing Joke. The Joker shoots Barbara Gordon in the spine, basically just like Xavier was shot, rendering her paralyzed from the waist down for a while. But somehow also giving her psychic powers. So they literally just turned Barbara Gordon into Professor Xavier for a while without the baldness.
I don't normally date women in wheelchairs because I don't want to double down on my problems.
Right.
But I have a pickup line. For a girl in a wheelchair that I've been saving for a while.
Okay.
Hit us.
I don't know if you guys want to hear it.
Of course we do.
Oh, yeah. So I roll up to her and I say, hey, baby, do those wheels go all the way around?
Oh!
And another one is, I have another one, actually. I go up to her and I say, I can see you've been working on leg day.
Hey, baby, can you feel anything down there, or can I just do what I want?
After 30 minutes, you're going to feel something.
Mainly shame, but... Yeah, they.
And banned.
No, I'm keeping an eye on it. I've got a countdown going. I'm wondering if we could even make it to New Year's. I've already played the kill stream on here. We're making fun of people in wheelchairs. I'm trying to mark off all the X's here.
We might as well get it all out by the end of the year.
I think I threw a Holocaust joke in there too.
No, we do that about every episode.
yeah, that's pretty regular for us.
I was telling you guys about this has to do with superheroes a little bit. I was telling you guys about how I was thinking of Halloween.
Oh yeah,
because I do have a girlfriend now, and it's the first time in a while. And I was thinking of costumes, couples costumes, offensive couple costumes, and there's two we settled on. I think if we went as 9/11 one year, if you think about it, my chair kind of already looks like the Seventh Tower, but
yeah, we'll just put some weight.
Have to add some flames and smoke to it.
Right? Yeah.
And then my girlfriend could, of course, be the airplane. That way, when we're side by side to each other, it looks just like 9/11.
She could sit on your lap while you roll around. She cracked into you.
Yeah, to complete the whole duo, I talked about it with some of my best buddies. One of them is going to go as Bin Laden, and then the other one will go as George Bush, and we'll take a group picture.
There you go.
And the last one we settled on, it's not really a superhero costume either. But because my girlfriend is Asian, I decided that we are going to go as the My Lai Massacre. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I am familiar.
So in the Vietnam War, we basically killed the villagers. We killed a village full of innocent people because we thought they were the Viet Cong. So my costume idea,
allegedly innocent.
Allegedly, yeah, allegedly. My costume idea is I will be the troop with the M16 and in the cool costume,
Mm-hmm.
and she will be the alleged slaughtered Asian 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh God!
You could also be Tiananmen Square. You could dress up your chair as a tank.
As a tank, yes.
Yeah, and then.
You know what, too? I always thought, because, she's obviously my girlfriend, so I will be getting a blowjob at some point. So I could dress up like the Prime Minister of China, and she can wear a blackface and dress up like LeBron James, because LeBron James is all over that guy's dick.
Oh, or Mark Zuckerberg. You could just dress her up like a lizard.
No. I couldn't look. I couldn't look her in the eye if she was dressed up like a lizard.
But the Winnie the Pooh costume you're okay with.
Oh yeah, the one I like Honey just as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about dressing up as Winnie the Pooh for next Halloween and just using the pickup line, "Hey, I'd like to get my head stuck in your honey pot." But
that's good.
Let me know if you ever need some costume ideas. I have a whole list of them.
I'm liking where you're going.
Yeah, I I hate to say as a crippled guy, because that's usually what SJWs say before they say something stupid.
Yeah.
But as a crippled guy, I realized that the people who get offended, like, the people on the left and all that, they consider me a protected class.
Oh. That mean you can get away with more stuff?
Basically, I can do anything. I can bend their laws, and there's no repercussions.
Well, I've put another entry into the Discord chat there. This is Captain Marvel Jr. Freddie Freeman. And the story on this one is absolutely just amazing, considering we were just talking about the slaughter in Vietnam and the Holocaust and all of those interesting things. During the
allegedly interesting.
The origin of this guy is that Captain Marvel, Shazam, the real Captain Marvel, was fighting Captain Nazi in World War II, and Freddie Freeman's grandfather was killed, and he was crippled in the aftermath of the fight. And because Shazam felt so guilty, he gave him a piece of his superpowers and made him Captain Marvel Jr. But you see him there when he's not a superhero. He's got the tiny Tim crutch.
Yeah, he got the crutch.
Yeah, and now as a superhero, he's completely able-bodied. But
when are we gonna get like crippled Batman, and we can have the short bus as like the Batmobile?
Well, technically, Bane did break Batman's back for a while.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, he was crippled for a little while.
What's funny is The Dark Knight, I remember seeing the Bane one when it first came out in theaters, and I fell asleep like halfway through it, but I woke up at the part where Batman got his back broken.
That's probably the beginning of when the movie actually starts.
I don't know if my crippled senses went off.
I need to see this so I can know whether or not to be offended by
it. Right. I need this.
I will write a letter and get paid.
I had my lawyer on speed dial to make sure if Marvel was an ADA compliant.
DC on that one. That was DC Comics.
Oh, DC makes Batman. Okay.
Yeah. You got to know who you're suing. I mean, you can sue everybody for everything. It's fine. Look at how Maddox did it.
Yeah.
Get a good lawyer like what's his fuck? Who is Maddox's lawyer?
Nothing says good lawyer like a DUI and a car flipped over in a ditch. Am I right?
Look, man, that's every lawyer on a Good Friday.
I'm sure Nick Lucada can testify to that.
Right? Yeah. He actually does have a stream coming on tonight. I know it's Saturday, and normally we don't have to say that, but at midnight tonight, Ricada will be doing a show.
God damn it, Rackets.
That's fantastic.
It'll be a Chad Dad stream. But
I'm a huge fan of Ricada, and I was honored when Miss Rackets said that my mother was her best friend for the evening.
Oh. That's
nice.
that is quite the high honor. Lady Rackets is strangely sometimes more interesting than Nick. Maybe it's because she's a woman.
It was crazy just to see. I was in the strip club with everybody, with Riley, all my friends, right? And I have never seen a more wholesome couple in a strip club before. It was strange. Like I was surprised to see them both there, but they just were normal, I kind of thought that Nick wouldn't like being around strippers because he's a clean stand-up kind of guy. But
you obviously don't hang out in his Discord very much.
Yeah, that's true.
He hangs around with us degenerate strippers or nothing. They just want some ones and. Good.
Yeah, just make sure none of them like fart near your face because then you'll get pink eye.
When I didn't get any farts. I didn't get any farts in the face, but I did get a nipple in my mouth.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, well, that's good.
It was strange.
I was expecting that to go way worse than it was.
No, they like to say that they get paid to say that they like you and act like they like you, But I really think I got away with a lot because she was letting me touch her and she put her tit in my mouth. And
nice.
Yeah, I don't think, is that the norm for you guys?
No.
You go to strip clubs?
No.
No, not at all.
You got to pay extra and go into the back room for that, typically.
No, all right.
Usually with some cocaine.
I got a life hack for both of you guys. The next time you go to the strip club,
go in a wheelchair
or crutches.
You could do that, but wheelchairs are expensive. I was just gonna suggest that you take a billy club and you just hammer at your legs till you can't feel anything. And then you get a free provided wheelchair by the hospital, and then you get free lap dances for the rest of your life.
Well, see, one of the sound guys I work with, he likes to run sound. He sits in a wheelchair while he runs sound, and he'll like wheel around the venue while we're doing our sound check, so he can, with like his laptop or whatever, like adjusting the levels. I don't know why he does it. He's kind of weird, but I can just borrow his.
Oh yeah, you could do that too.
That guy had life figured out.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't. I think I would still use a wheelchair even if I could walk.
Man, you guys are making me jealous. I'm gonna get a wheelchair. I can imagine that GoFundMe. I have to talk to T. Greg Doucette and find out how to crowdfund a wheelchair for $8,000.
You know what? Maybe I should
open. Just get church a wheelchair. No reason.
Maybe I should open a wheelchair dealership.
Like a rental. I need a wheelchair for the weekend, CrippleJesus. Hook me up. Got you, fam.
Half off for the half man. Come
on. Now, would you wear the cheesy, like bad used car salesman suit while you're doing it?
Oh, absolutely. And I would have the cowboy hat with it, too.
Perfect.
With Make America Great Again on the cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the cigar in your mouth.
Oh.
Bring in proof that you voted for Trump for a discount.
Yeah, and like, at CrippleJesus Wheelchair Emporium, we cut the prices from the waist down.
This is fantastic.
Speaking of making America
come
great
on
again,
down today and get your deal on wheels.
I can picture the really bad like local TV commercial now.
And we're obviously gonna have it at a horrible camera angle, right? And that wavy inflatable thing is just gonna be hitting me in the face. And try to get away from it as I say the commercial.
So, my boss made a deal with one of our wholesalers that basically, if we give them a good Google review, they'll give us like this really awesome deal on some product we've been having a hard time getting in. So I was on the phone with her. I was like, okay, but I'm thinking of doing it like Donald Trump. Like, they're the greatest. They're making wholesale great again. And she started laughing. She was like, yes. Go. She's like, yes, you should totally do it that way. I was like, all right. I was like, you said yes, I'm doing
it. Their inventory is huge. They have the best inventory, the best products. We got them on a great deal from China, which I've recently increased the tariffs at. So we made even more money and brought these things. We basically made China pay for them. It was great.
Grab them by the price tag.
Oh, I wish I would have thought of that one. Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Oh, man.
Damn. I wonder, can you edit those? If you can edit those, I'm adding that to it.
Jesus
look
Christ. But, so, with disabled superheroes, like I said, there are some tropes that you see a lot of. You've got blindness, you've got people in wheelchairs. But again, like I said, I did find at least one interesting story about a superhero who was born with cerebral palsy and made a superhero suit that allowed them to use their abilities.
And that is that's actually the disease that I have. I don't know if you know.
Did you just dox yourself again and reveal your secret identity?
Oh yes, I revealed my superpower. I crippled doxed myself. Sorry, fellas. I can't say it's big dick disease anymore. Darn, I ruined that joke. All the oxygen just goes to my dick, and it really does a number on my legs. You wouldn't believe
I thought it was EPS, enormous penis syndrome.
Well, it's actually PhD. That's why there's a diploma for it, because not that many people have it, so you have to prove that you have it.
Oh, all right.
You hang it up on your wall.
It's like an exam, kind of like the penis exams that the coach in high school or in junior high would do, like one at a time in his office privately.
Right. You got the taint test. That's at the end of the year, right after the SAT. You take the taint test. Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
I have not.
They make you teabag the test instructor. That's how you pass the test.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you get extra points, like if you give the instructor a black eye from it?
Well, it's like curling. It depends. It's like curling. You know that sport? Are you familiar with that sport?
Oh, the goofy Canadian thing with the
where all the athletes just look like fat couch TV dads.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm actually a star at that sport.
It's kind of like poker, I hate to call poker players athletes because they're not, but it's one of the reasons I like curling and poker is because anybody can do it. Like, you don't have to be born with certain genetics to be good at it. Like, you can look like a middle-aged dad and you can still be successful at it.
That's very true.
But it's the teabag test. It's like curling. It depends on where the balls land on her forehead. If it lands directly between her eyes, that's bullseye. You get extra points for that.
Okay. Well, the guy in the Discord is Hornet. His name was Eddie McDonough, whatever, McDonough. But he was born with cerebral palsy and was a scientific prodigy. So he created a suit that allowed him to basically control his disability or whatever.
It sounds a lot like Stephen Hawking, but without the flights to Pedophile Island.
What the fuck was Stephen Hawking doing on Pedophile Island anyway?
Getting lap dances. What else?
That whole thing is disgusting, like that whole story. But his case, I actually want to see tapes of that because I'm not sure how he could rape a little girl. His body is so fucked. I'm not physically do it.
With a dildo on the end of the wheelchair and just hitting back and forward repeatedly over and over.
I mean, even that, like, if you look at his hands are curled in almost like they're fish hooks. So I don't even know how he would move the chair to corner. I mean,
that's fair.
At that point, you want it. At that point. It's like when the original George Bush, he was fucking 90-something years old, and he's shaking, looking like he's gonna die tomorrow, and some intern says that she was raped by him. I mean, it wasn't even him at a younger age. You obviously you would have to literally sit on his lap for that to work.
I mean, a 90-year-old dude, like, pinching your ass isn't the same as Bill Clinton.
even that, like, he probably didn't even realize that he pinched your ass. Like, that's how old he is. But yeah, if somebody has
the sigh of defeat that you just let out.
You're probably gonna get kicked off of YouTube for this one. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. I was just curious if we could make it to New Year's. I didn't think we actually would.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I actually have to send a gift to whoever gets us kicked off of YouTube for just go ahead and then cutting the cord for us. Then we'll stream on Ayrton's channel.
Susan, if you're listening to this podcast,
you have to call her by her proper. Yeah, you have to call her by her proper name if you want to get her attention. Horseface.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Fear. I would like a content deal with the mighty Fourth Reich over there at Google. So if you could get on that right now, I'd be very happy.
I'm his agent. Just creep into my DMs on Twitter, Susan. It's fine. I have some questions for you anyway.
And maybe we could go to your fun retraining camps and we could talk about it.
Oh man!
I know you have thought chambers that you lock your employees in. And they get to think creative ideas. Unless it's the ones that you don't want them to think, then you gas them full of cyanide.
Zyklon G.
I hear the food is good though at those camps.
Oh yeah, it's almost like
the catering is exquisite.
It's almost like the chocolate chip cookies make you forget about how they covered up a giant pedophile, global pedophile network.
Right.
Right.
They're just that good. They baked so many cookies in such a short amount of time. You just like, oh well, no, there wasn't a pedophile ring.
They had no time. They were baking cookies.
Exactly.
I could really save these kids from being molested, but these Chips Ahoy is over here, man. You gotta get a load of these.
Did you know that everything in the snack machine was free? They're molesting kids back there, but the snacks are free.
Oh man.
I don't think you heard me. One topic I do want to weigh in on. It's not comics related, but I think you might have an interesting take on it. Another good friend of the show, Sink Uger. A very big supporter of the Gospel of Comics. That guy loves us.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's running for office, I think, congressionally in New York. And
California, and it's.
You sure?
I think it's a representative position, from what I remember, but I'm not sure on that one.
I'm not sure either because I don't pay attention to anything he does. But
you know what this might be a little cuck to say, but I don't agree with that guy. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Chunk Yogurt.
Does.
Yeah.
Chunk Yogurt.
Yeah, Chunk Yogurt.
Yeah.
What I like about that guy is as soon as that Anita Sarkeesian or whatever her name is, as soon as she starts talking, he interrupts her. I watched the Young Turks videos because I heard about them on Joe Rogan. Like I heard about how retarded leftists they were.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go and watch for entertainment. And the one thing I took away from every video is, man, whenever that dumb woman starts talking, he just interrupts her. I really like that about him.
See, I enjoy how he gets the bacon grease perfectly lined up on his face to give him the proper contours to make his face look more like a balloon.
Well, I was saying that he's running for office, and he picked up an endorsement from Bernie Sanders, and within 24 hours, Bernie's on Twitter disavowing him. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
When you advocate for blowing horses, even Bernie Sanders is going to disavow you.
Don't match me, bro.
I follow Dame Pesos, so I did see that.
Yeah.
I actually have a slogan campaign for Bernie Sanders.
Jesus, I have to correct the record here. Dame Pesos was banned from Twitter. You must be thinking about his new friend, Sync Pesos, CENKPESOS, Sync Pesos.
I apologize, everybody.
Dame doesn't have a Twitter account anymore.
Definitely don't follow Sync Pesos. But it made me think of, when I saw that tweet, it made me think of a new campaign slogan for Bernie Sanders. And I got it. I really think this will stop him from being screwed over by the Democrats. It's
what you got?
Bernie Sanders, the only Jew that knows nothing about economics. I really think that will get him in. I don't know what it's your view on that.
Bernie fourth matching Sanders. That's always been my favorite thing. He's always talking about his social ideas or socialist ideas and everything. And he's got like
I
five
honestly
mansions.
don't know. I honestly don't know how he hasn't been kicked out of a synagogue, because his financial management is atrocious.
Well, he doesn't go to them.
Well, that might be why. He spends money more poorly than Sammy Davis does. I thought Sammy Davis was the worst at financial fiscability when it came to being Jewish.
I've got a list of about 15 basketball players I'd like you to look into. But I mean, has anybody heard from Larry Bird lately?
Was Will Chamberlain Jewish?
I mean, I don't know, but for the sake of the meme, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. He said that an interesting thing about him was, I believe he said he had sex with 10,000 women. But if you break down the math of that would mean he would have to have sex with 6.5 women every day since he was 7 years old.
I mean, haven't we all?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I did it before I got married.
I remember the day on the playground where you would drink your juice box and go behind the fence. The fence to the schoolyard pimp, and he would give you the bottom bitch, and you would just have a good 15 minutes.
I mean, is juice box like the new way the kids are saying like a pint of Guinness?
Oh yeah. So when we said juice box, it was actually those little Snaps airport bottles.
Yeah,
you would drink.
Okay. Anytime somebody gave CrippleJesus a juice box, it was just lean in a box. How far do you think we are away from that box lean? Like, we have box wine now. How long do you think before we get box lean?
Well, when little Wayne wakes up from one of his drug-induced seizures he has 365 times a year, I'm sure he'll think of it. I mean, I can see his face on now. It's gonna be like He's gonna be on the box, and it's gonna be like, "It ain't easy being Wheezy," and I'm gonna sell weed in a box.
Oh, somebody needs to hire CrippleJesus as a marketing manager right now.
I'm in college for marketing, so if there's any big companies out there that want to start a Twitter controversy, you can hire me.
That's going to be your resume. Specializes in Twitter controversies.
That's right. I will start a Jewish conspiracy about anyone. Oh man, that's I mean, that is the future, though, isn't it? Like, it really doesn't. Is. Like, it's not about actually making a good product or having a good marketing campaign anymore.
I remember when we were early teenagers and vapes were just becoming a thing. I remember a couple years before that, I saw vape as like the future, but I never thought it would be there. What if there was a way you could smoke weed and it wouldn't smell and no alarms would go off?
Oh, it still smells. People just don't realize it.
Wait, you think it smells? I never get any smells. I don't know if it's because I'm immune to it.
It doesn't linger, but if you're near it when someone hits it, you can definitely smell it. It just doesn't linger like actually smoking weed does.
I got a friend that just got back from Colorado, and he says no matter where you go there, it smells like unsmoked marijuana.
That sounds fantastic.
Right, yeah. He says that, you can go, like, you're not supposed to, but because you're a casual purchaser, you can go to every dispensary that you can get to and buy an ounce every day legally. And I'm like, that's amazing.
It really is.
That's amazing.
And another life hack this is actually a serious life hack. When I smoke in the car, I make sure to hotbox it because, like, weed is like one of the better air fresheners for your car.
Oh yeah, yeah. Unless you're the police.
Well, who's gonna throw a crippled guy in jail? You don't want to be that
guy. No, I think the better question is who's gonna fuck with a crippled guy in jail.
Well, I have a plan for that too. You see, I'm gonna get real fat, and I'm gonna be as stable as a sumo wrestler, so they can't physically turn me over to rape me. So I would be
fine. Really, that sounds like your best plan of action.
Yeah, and I actually thought about it. And if I go about it that way, prison isn't actually that bad because I could just practice my poker game.
There you go.
Play poker all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, prisoners sometimes even have fucking video game consoles now.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. There are some prisons where you get like recreation time, and they have like a little area with TV and fucking video games and internet and shit.
I believe OJ was talking about how he did like a Wii bowling sports league. I don't know. I watched
how do you get the strap to fit around his hand to go on his wrist though?
Straps are easier to put on than gloves.
You can adjust them better.
OJ was always strapped. He was always ready.
Yeah, you got to turn the juice on somehow.
What I'm wondering is how did he not drop the remote? Because, he's real clumsy for a football player. I mean, he used to run with the ball, hang on to the ball for 80 plus yards and bust through tackles. But when it comes to knives, not cutting people's throat, he seems to struggle with that one. He gets real nervous around cutlery. I don't know what it is.
Look, just be careful. You don't want to be next. Knife emoji, knife emoji, knife emoji.
Listen, OJ, before you stab me, I would like you to autograph the knife. Could you do that?
Yeah.
I think, and I would also like you to say when you arrive, because I imagine it would be like Psycho, right? Like I'm sitting on my shower chair and I'm showering.
Yeah.
And I'm like singing, I'm walking on sunshine because I tend to do that when I'm in the shower. And I just hear this noise and the shower curtain opens and it's OJ. He's like, "Hey, Twitter world," and he just stabs me like fucking 5 times.
He's just like live streaming it on Periscope.
and then when he looks down at my bleeding body, he turns the camera to himself. He laughs and he says, "I'm just saying, take care."
Watch out for crazy motherfuckers with knives, y'all. It's a dangerous world out there. This guy wasn't prepared.
Just make sure you're fat enough that he can't roll you over and do other stuff to you after he
after, yeah. When I die, he's gonna make a second book after he's acquitted. It's gonna be called On a Roll. And it'll be all about how he would have allegedly murdered a crippled man in the shower.
It's a good thing you got that DLive account set up already.
Yeah, absolutely. On a roll.
Because you know that's 2 murders in a row that he got off with.
Oh yeah,
he had the double murder in '94, and
allegedly.
This one.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly, of course, allegedly.
We don't know how many other allegedlys there are. But I don't know that he could not get caught. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't think that he could not at least get called out for anything.
Well, what he's got to do, he was a genius the last time because I'm sure he wanted to kill his wife for like 2 years prior to that. I'm sure he had it all bottled up in him, you know.
Yeah.
But he killed his wife right around police brutality incident.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He was able to use that and make his prosecution into a race issue.
And then the glove didn't fit, so you had to acquit?
Right, yeah. I mean, if it rhymes, it's true.
Right. Absolutely. Like all rap music. All rap music is true.
Like, we put the AIDS in lemonade. That used to be Chick-fil-A slogan, but then they got rid of it because they're anti-gay marriage. And it was fun for a while.
There's a commercial out there floating around. I haven't saved in my phone or I'd play it, but it's a commercial for AIDS candy. I lost so much.
Yeah,
it's a diet candy.
You know, that company went under. I did some research on that company because I thought it was so funny. We talked about it in my Discord. So I went down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, as you do, you know.
Right.
And that company actually went under because that guy refused to change the name to AIDS. Because the marketing guys were like, you know, when you name your candy AIDS, it really makes people think that they're gonna get AIDS when they eat it. And
good.
Like, no, AIDS is a proud family name. We're never gonna change the name. And now the company's under.
Well, you know, I think the lesson here is that's probably why you don't see too many Hitlers running around anymore.
I mean, I don't think you can name your kid Hitler, didn't the government? Because I think the two names in the U.S. that you cannot name your kid are Osama and Hitler.
Are you serious? That's a thing?
I think that's a thing.
Huh.
Because there's a man in Idaho who tried to name his kid Adolf Hitler, and the government wouldn't let him.
Huh.
But,
I'm gonna
however,
have to Google that.
Have no fear, citizens, because I just had a conversation with my girlfriend, and she did agree that I could name my firstborn child Chink Shineman. So I'm absolutely gonna do that.
Good at math.
I allowed her. I'm allowing her to pick the second name if we do decide to have a second kid, because after all, she is going through labor, you know.
Right?
So
Yeah. I
at
mean,
least get the second
Right.
naming rights.
right.
But this first opportunity is too funny to pass up.
Right.
So
No. You definitely have to put your foot down on that one.
I want to be there every morning for when his kindergarten teacher blushes, because you know he's gonna go to a fancy private school, and they're gonna try to say his name wrong because they don't want to say Chink. They're gonna be like, Chank Chinaman. Is there a Chank Chinaman here? And I'm gonna say, no, you say his name properly, goddammit. You will not appropriate my son's culture. His name is Chank Chinaman. You say it right.
You really gotta fuck with the doctor though, and make him think like your first idea is gonna be throwing a bunch of silverware on the ground and naming him after the sounds it makes.
Well, I love Richard Lewis, and that's why.
Holy shit, he's right.
Yeah, when
you can't legally. There's like a ton of things you can't like legally name your kids.
Yeah.
In New
Is
Zealand,
there
you
anything
can't name
else
your
on
kid
the
anal.
list?
What?
Yeah, you can't legally name your kid Anal in New Zealand.
Oh man.
Well, there goes Dick Masterson's dream of having a kid in New Zealand and naming him.
Also, you can't.
I'll have to tell Wada Anal when she's born. We'll have to change her name.
Also, in New Zealand, you can't name Tallulah does the hula from Hawaii.
Okay.
Did someone actually name their kid that?
Probably.
They tried to.
In the Netherlands, there's a guy that named his kid Thor Jesus Christ Coca-Cola 420. I think that is a. We were talking on the Cripplecast when I had you on. We were talking about marijuana Pepsi.
Yeah.
Dr. Marijuana Pepsi.
Yeah.
And I did some research on funny names because I was fascinated by it. And I found that guy, half of his kid's name, it's the longest kid name there is. I think it's like 22 words. And half of the name is his Xbox gamer tag. I don't remember what it was, but that was the inspiration. And the other half is Thor Jesus Christ Coca-Cola 420.
Yes.
And I just think that's fantastic.
Which is funny as shit, but
there's
you're
so
a
many
piece of shit
abbreviations
for naming your kid something as fucked as that.
There's so many abbreviations too. Like you could be called Thor Jesus or Coke Christ or 420 Coke. Like there's so many ways you could say it.
That's fantastic.
It's a great name.
It is. You should make people write it out on all official documents.
I think it would be the longest driver's license in the history.
He'd have to have two.
You need like 17 of them to fit it all on.
Yeah.
Well, no, one would just be the picture and the name, and the rest of it would be like your certification.
You have, like, when that kid goes to a bar and he's like 21, but he looks like 17, and the waitress asks for his ID, he just pulls out like a Rolodex, like a business card holder, and he's like, "Oh, here it is."
Oh, Jesus. Thor Jesus, excuse me. That's a superpower in and of itself, I think, and a disability.
Being Thor Jesus?
Being Thor Jesus. Being named by a guy that thinks that's what you name your kids like.
I like the idea of just naming my kids after things I like.
Can you imagine, though, the idea of trying to dox that person? Like, that's just too many names. Nobody's going to actually believe you.
Right. Like, if I named my kid like Tom and Jerry Mountain Dew Poker,
Chink
Tom and
Chinaman.
Jerry Mountain Dew Poker TV. Like
Tom and Jerry Mountain Dew Poker TV Chink Chinaman the third. There's no first and second, but he's got to be the third.
Esquire.
And I can't wait to. I'm gonna dress him up as offensive costume when he's a little kid.
You can put blackface on your baby.
I was thinking of General. What is his name?
General Tso's chicken.
No, I lost his name. His name is General. Is it Jokio? Is that his name? The general in World War II. Somebody that's a World War II aficionado.
Not Patton.
Know his name. But that guy, the Japanese general, I'm going to dress up my kid like that on his first Halloween. And then we're going to dress him up in whiteface. And I think that would be hilarious.
Are you talking about?
Are
you talking about Hashimoto?
I will go as Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, there you go.
And we will be.
Are you talking about?
Be the perfect father-son costume duo.
I'd like it.
Are you talking about General Hashimoto?
Yeah, General Hashimoto. And another one that I figured was that he would be we could both be the two bombs from Hiroshima.
Oh yeah, you'll be Fat Man and he'll be Little Boy.
Right.
I like how you've already decided that your first child is going to be a son. Like, how are you gonna? Are you just?
Oh yeah. If it's a daughter, things happen.
He means adoption, I'm sure.
It would be out of my control. I would love her, of course, but you can't control everything. You can't get everything you want. But,
fun cultural appreciation fact of the night. Over in China, they actually, if they have a daughter, they usually drown them in the bathtub because it's more valuable to have a son.
Yeah. I think they got rid of that though.
Oh, did they stop?
I don't think it was ever legal, guys.
Oh, really? I thought it was legal at one point.
We're not talking about Sparta here, you guys. Come on. Can't just throw the baby over the cliff and try again. Although, never mind. I'm not going to make that joke.
When I was a kid, this is probably going to be stupid. But when I was a kid, I always thought if I had a kid, it would be born and it would come out in a little wheelchair. It would come out of the womb.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like I
went to sex ed class when I was in high school, like freshman year, and I realized that that's not how it's going to go down. And I got to say, I'm kind of disappointed.
Now,
well, maybe you can get like a little wheelchair fashion. So after the kid comes out, they can just put him in it.
Or you can put the little wheelchair in before the kid comes out, so that they'll be seated properly.
I gotta build a tiny ramp,
like a boat in a bottle, right? Like you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could work.
I want him to carve his name in it too. I'm sure my kid will be doing all kinds of cool prank stuff that I did when I was a kid, because I'll be his dad, so I'm sure he'll put like wads of gum on the uterus and like Carmen Chink was here.
He already knows his name inside the womb.
Well, yeah, he's Asian. He's smarter than I am.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already into Harvard by the time he pops out of there.
Well, CrippleJesus, the time has flown by, but we are at the end of our show here. I just want to say, especially for me, thank you so much for coming on and staying on with us for the full show. This has been absolutely fantastic.
Oh, no problem. I had a great time, guys.
And anytime you want to come back on, just let us know. We'll gladly have you again. Just for the wheelchair pun. See, normally I have to deal with Ayrton's really bad puns, but he hasn't even made any tonight because he knew he'd be outclassed.
I haven't needed to.
Oh, is your sperm on little wheelchairs too? Daniel asked in the chat.
Right. I would imagine that they are. I think the way it works though is that some of my sperms are crippled and some of them are retarded. So you'll see like the crooked ones. They'll have like helmets on them with like butterfly stickers and little Hot Wheels stickers on the side.
Wait, are those your sperm or are those Frederick Brennan's sperm?
I would hope it was mine. If it was Frederick's, I think it would be like a Chuck E. Cheese sperm with Stranger Danger written on the front.
But anyway, that's gonna.
Can you imagine that guy? He's in a white pedophile band and has free candy, but when he leaves to abduct the children, he has to wait for the wheelchair ramp. Unless the kid is really, really fat, he's gonna be able to get away.
So, real quick before we sign off, I had to Google crippled sperm real quick. If you're looking at that, this is what I found.
All right, we'll get this up on screen for the audience.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Okay.
That's fantastic.
That's image number 2 on Google Image Search, by the way.
I'm going to screenshot that right now, and I'll send it.
Oh, man. All right. We'll save it.
I'll send it to her. I'll say, this is what our honeymoon is going to look like.
All right, here we go. Let's just find this. Pull it up on
and bam.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's what we got there. So that's a sperm cycle.
That made my day, and I gotta say, I don't know anything about comics, but I had a great time and you guys explaining it to me. It was very fun.
Well, we had a blast. Thank you for coming out.
Definitely. Like I said,
I want to say you can check out my new podcast, Holy Rollers. We are going to record on Monday, and it should come out on Tuesday. We are up at ascpresents.com. I can get the link from Riley as soon as possible, so you can put it in the description.
You said ascpresents.com, one word?
Yes, ascpresents.
All right.
.com.
Oh yeah, there's the graphic for it. I'll go ahead and edit the show link, and I'll pull out the podcast link, and then I'll put in that.
We do not have the podcast there up yet, but it will be going up on there. And we also have a archive of the Cripplecast, as I mentioned earlier.
Awesome. But yeah,
Sweet,
thanks again for coming on. If you don't already know, check out CrippleJesus on Twitter at CrippleJesus, and keep an eye out for Holy Rollers in the near future. The link to ascpresents.com is in the description down below, where you can bookmark that and keep an eye on it for the first episode of Holy Rollers.
Thank you guys for having me on. I am gonna go smoke and think of crazy names for my next kid.
There you go. That's what you do for
Sounds
the third
brilliant.
one. Because you got to have like 7.
Oh, you cut out there, buddy.
I was saying just think of the name for the third one, since you're letting the girlfriend name the second one, because you've got to have like 7 kids.
Oh yeah. You know what I got to do? I got a nightstand over here. I just got to look at my nightstand, and I'll just name the items in a row, and that'll be my kids' names.
Right? Yeah.
Let's see here. I got reading eyeglasses. I got garage door opener, vape pen, jerk off tissue. That sounds like a great kid.
Oh man.
Well, with that in mind, I'm gonna leave you guys. Thanks for having me on. I'll definitely come on again. And
awesome.
I think we could talk about in the near future having you on Holy Rollers as well.
Oh, that'll be good.
Guest on.
That'll be
Brilliant.
good. I can I can prepare for that. I'm sure there's some way I can tie that into comic books and pretend like I belong there. But anyway, thanks again, man, and we will see you next time. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you.
Good night,
you
everybody.
guys have been awesome.
Oh, and the chat loved you, by the way. If you haven't been seeing it, the chat loved you.
Oh, thank you.
So,
thank you.
So yeah,
it's fun being here. Later, guys.
Later, man. All right, and with that, you got anything else to add, Ayrton? Or are you about ready to prepare for the drunk stream?
I'm ready to prepare for the drunk stream. I already went and got some snacks.
Okay. All right. Well, I will. We'll probably take like a 10-15 minute little interlude. I'll set everything up, and we will be right back in just a few. So with that, until 10-15 minutes from now, we will see you next time.
Good night, everybody.